In this pick a pile reading, which I'm setting up a little differently, guys, because I couldn't fit all of the cards on the front of the screen. So we have here 5 options you can choose based on numbers and symbols, whatever you feel drawn to. And this is going to be all about what type of multidimensional magic or spiritual gifts are in your DNA. So these could be gifts that you already have activated, gifts you only just now started activating, or gifts that are fully latent within your DNA, but can be brought out in this incarnation. So this can be past life and ancestral, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a few minutes to tune in and choose a number. So we have here 1 or the snake, 2 or the skull, 3 or the spiral, 4 or the arrow, or 5 or the star. Okay, so those of you who chose pile 1 or the serpent, let's get into your reading. Okay, pile 1, so this is your layout or your spread. So I'm going to tune into each of these cards, but first let me go ahead and point out what they are. So this is definitely my shamanic pile for sure. And I want to also add real quick that there's a lot of priestess vibes coming through and possibly priest as well. So I just want to put that out there first off. Now we have here the shaman card, trust in higher forces. We have here the high priestess card, which also could mean gypsy, astrologer, psychic, or prophet. We have here the demon vine, which also represents building towers or destroying towers, causing rough waters, and finding witches. Okay, and I'm showing you this because this is harder to see on here. We have, and by the way, that also represents the strength card. And then we have the Page of Swords, or Bodis, gives answers to past, present, and future, and reconciles friends and foes. We have here the Freedom card. It's also, if you can see, it's a dragonfly on here. And we have Galactic Guidance, Star Family, Assistance, and Cooperation. And then down here on the bottom, we have our last demon card, which is also the 8 of Cups, the Par, Guide of Waters, can make storms and rough seas, causes men to die in 3 days of putrid wounds, which I would imagine is in battle. So let me go ahead and tune into these energies and actually channel what's coming through for magical abilities that you have in multidimensional aspects. So definitely you guys are my shamanic pile. I'm getting possible Lemurian vibes as well coming through her, so you guys might have incarnations, prominent incarnations in Lemuria. But I'm mostly getting indigenous ancestry coming through, and if you don't have indigenous ancestry, then this would be whatever cultural shamanic path is part of your ancestry, because honestly, we use the term shaman as a sort of cover blanket for different types of shamanic practices within cultures, but really that particular name, shaman, actually comes from the Siberian culture specifically, but now we just kind of use it as a cover for all. But this could be really any culture around the world when it comes to shamanic practices. What a shaman has the ability to do is actually journey into other realms in order to bring back information or wisdom or help you on the healing path. So this specifically deals with the underworld and the ancestral realm or the totemic realm, but a shaman can also have access into other realms as well, including celestial. So I just want to put that out there. So definitely you guys, whether you have fully activated or not, you guys have this gift within you. You guys may have been approached by, shamans, medicine men and women, witch doctors, things of that nature within your DNA. You guys might dream about a lot of totemic expressions, or may see a lot of animal guides or totems that show up in your waking life or in your dreams. These are all for you to understand that this is for you to receive guidance in your path. You might also see these types of symbols pop up if you do readings for people or if you journey for people. So definitely study animal guides and totems. Animal guides come and go. Totems are in the DNA. We all have 4 regular totems and 4 shadow totems. You look into studying totemic practices that'll help you look into learning how to journey, know how to journey into, you know, the middle world, the underworld, and the upper worlds. And if you need help with that, you guys can definitely subscribe to my Patreon. I do teach how to do that. So we have here the High Priestess, Astrologer, Prophet, and Gypsy. And it's interesting because I'm definitely getting this could also mean nun. I don't know why, but I feel like somebody in this pile, or some of you, might have been nuns or priests as well. But I'm actually getting more of a pagan background coming through. So for those of you who are from mixed ancestry or are not from quote unquote indigenous tribal ancestry, this could have to do, because I'm getting like Atlantean priestess vibes coming through, and I'm also getting like possibly Roman and Greek and even Persian. So if that resonates, definitely take that. But you know, you can be a high priestess or a high priest within many different cultures, but those specifically were coming through. And I'm getting a lot of feminine energy here. So I really feel like whether you are a physical male or female in this incarnation, I feel like you definitely have this feminine high priestess gift. So whether you've accessed it or not in this lifetime, you do have the possibility to be a medium, a psychic, or a priest or priestess, an astrologer. You might even be somebody that likes to live off grid or garden or move around a lot, because we're getting here gypsy. You could be actually from the physical line of gypsies that live primarily in Eastern Europe. So there's a lot coming through here. As far as how you can activate this within your current lifetime, the advice that I'm getting for you is really to do a lot of meditation and spend a lot of time in nature. And if you are interested in becoming an astrologist or digging into your own astrology, definitely study that science, because I feel like you'll get some insights that maybe, you know, regular people wouldn't, because I feel like you've done this a lot in your past life, so it'll just come to you. You might even be able to help people. You might even be an astrologer now. And the same thing goes with the psychic ability. You might be a seer. I'm getting for some of you, you may get like dreams or visions of the future. And this is coming through also for the prophet as well. So definitely you guys are very powerful. Whether you've accessed this within your DNA or not, it's definitely there. And I'm getting here for the demon cards, like the strength card, you know, the page of swords and the 8 of cups. I really feel like these, you know, daemons really represent what you carry inside of you, the gifts you carry inside of you. So you have this whole energy of creation and destruction here. So the ability to sort of create and recreate your reality. And that is an actual gift that you carry inside of you. Now, you might literally have the gift of being a physical builder or being someone who physically demolishes, but I'm getting this as more of like a spiritual energy card. So this right here, giving answers to past, present, and future, to me ties in to the psychic and the high priestess and astrologer energy and the prophet energy. So you guys might have the ability of the gift of retrocognizance, where you can look into the past, or the gift of prophecy, when you could look into the future. So even down here, there's also a lot of water energy here and a lot of serpent energy. So I'm getting underworld gifts specifically dealing with the waters and the underworld. So some of you might have totems and or animal guides that are serpents, or dragonflies also, which have to do with transformation and ascension. And then we have here, there's almost this like aquatic energy coming through. So some of you might have been, you know, mermaids or naiads or things of that nature in your past lives, like within the elemental realm. But I'm getting that it also has to do with being a water magi or having control over the waters, whether that's like the etheric waters of emotion and psychic ability or the literal physical waters. So you guys might be able to develop that, maybe spend more time in water. Water might be a portal for you. So maybe when you take showers or baths, use that as a time when you cleanse and meditate and recharge. You might also consider scrying with water, or maybe working with water elementals, water spirits, gods and goddesses, etc. The The whole freedom card to me just represents that you guys have the ability to see in multiple dimensions, experience in multiple dimensions, and not really feel as tied down to this realm as most people, and may be able to sort of just break free and recreate. And this really ties into the Vine card for me, like this ability to kind of, normally you don't associate the strength card with creation and destruction, but that's why the energy I'm getting. And to me, this also ties into the dragonfly, the ability to transform and to send out. I'm also getting, even though this is, more so associated with wind and air, I'm also getting water again coming through because I'm seeing these bubbles here. And then you have here the eyes. So again, the ability, the many eyes representing the ability to see into multiple realms. I feel like a lot of you might have had incarnations. Specifically, I'm getting like Lyra and Sirius and Pleiades. So that's what I'm getting coming through because I'm looking at this card right here. But even if those placements don't resonate with you, and in general sense, you definitely have celestial incarnations in the star family. And I feel like you do report to them, whether you are aware of it or not, and they guide you as these sort of handlers in the background, whether you're aware of it or not. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Pile one, if you want a more personalized reading where I can really tune into what you have specifically, definitely hit me up because this is a general reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And since you guys are my shaman pile, I really recommend checking out the end of this video for my promotional video on a shamanic seminar that I have coming up, because I will actually teach you guys how to journey into these regions. It's a 3-day long seminar where I journey with you guys 3 times a day, 4 hours a day. So definitely check it out. You can email me or message me through my business inbox if you are interested in enrolling. So thank you, pile one. This is all I have for you. Take care and shalom. Okay, those of you who chose pile 2 or the skull, this is your reading. Okay, pile 2, so this is your spread. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and go over the cards just in case you guys can't see them clearly. So this card is the Medicine Guardian, open to healing and transformation. And I'm going to get into the vibes that I'm really picking up on this too, guys, in just a minute. We have here from the Demon deck, Page of Wands. This is Balaam. Gives answers concerning past, present, and future, and can even make one invisible. Then we have Paimon, King Paimon. Teaches arts and sciences, tells anything one desires to know, give dignities, and can make man subject to one's demands, and gives good familiars. And this is also Queen of Wands. We have here the Heart Portal, receptivity, generosity, and mistrusting. We have here the Internal Explorer. Okay. The middle card here, which is sort of the core energy archetype, we have writer, messenger, publisher, and scribe. And then here we have the bottom demon card, Crocel or Crochel, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, teaches geometry and liberal sciences, makes great noises, and warms water. So let's get into this. Now, right away, I'm getting a lot of different energies coming through. So I feel like you guys have many different types of gifts that really expand all across the universe, ancestrally and multidimensionally. So I'm definitely getting for some of you that you guys have actual angelic DNA or L DNA or demigod DNA, or you've worked with the angels, either in this lifetime or other lifetimes, in healing others. So specifically seeing Raphael coming through, even though I've never seen Archangel Raphael look like this, I'm just getting a lot of this green sort of healing energy. Some of you may have apothecaries or work with herbs, or are healers, doctors, psychologists, grid workers, things of that nature, or is what's coming through as far as your gifts. So I'm definitely dealing with healing, medicine, alchemy, working with angels, working with herbs, and doing any kind of healing, energy work, emotional work, herbal work, things of that nature. I'm also getting that many of you, either in past lives or your ancestors or you in this incarnation, have the gift of writing, or good at receiving, delivering messages. And what's interesting here is this to me also has a very, this symbol right here also has a very Hermes-like energy to it, even though it's the, you know, the symbol of medicine and pharmaceuticals. I'm getting this sort of connection with messages too. So you guys might get messages from the spiritual realm and then write it down. So you could have, like, you know, be spiritual scribes. And I feel like when you write, if you have activated this in this lifetime, and if you haven't, definitely, you know, tune in. But I feel like for most of you that are tapping into this, you already know you have this gift, or you know that this is in your blood. You might even have living relatives that are published authors, or you might be a published author. But I really feel like for a lot of you, you really channel and write it down. And so if you haven't started doing this, definitely start doing it. Even if it's something small like keeping a journal or writing down poetry, or just writing down your thoughts or quotes that come to mind, you know, things, even if I'm getting specifically for you guys, that even if you feel like it's something insignificant, it's not. If you have a pull to write it down, write it down. I'm getting some of you also may, like, I get that this might be like my water sign pile. I'm not saying that all of you are water signs. I feel like a lot of you guys have prominent water placements, even if it's not in your sun. I'm just getting that this is my pile that daydreams a lot. You guys get messages when you daydream, when you meditate, when you dream at night. This is like where a lot of your information comes from. And I feel like for those of you who are already active writers, that you guys actually use the material from your dreams to write. And that's because you really understand that these are not just dreams, like these are actual spiritual truths. These are tales. These are, you know, glimpses of different realities, different worlds, different universes, you know, even memories. And so you're just drawing from this, and you use this to channel into your writing. I feel like as far as ancestry is concerned, I'm getting strong, I don't know why, but I'm getting like strong, like Persian, Mesopotamian, you know, for some of you, Egyptian or Kemetic backgrounds. I'm getting also Atlantean. So for my last pile, that was more Lemurian energy coming through, but for you guys, I'm getting more Atlantean. And I'm also getting that for some of you, you've worked with like King Paimon, either in this. In fact, I feel like some of you might even be working with Crochelle or Crochelle. And if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. I'm not getting anyone's working with Balaam at the minute, but I really feel like for this pile, some of you are actually already working with these daemons. King Paimon, by the way, is actually originally known as a Gen King, and was later sort of like brought in to the more demonic like hierarchy, but he actually originally started out as a Gen King. I didn't know if you guys knew that or not. I forget which specific race of Gen he comes from, but he's actually Gen. So I feel like some of you might work with the Gen, some of you might work with daemons already, but I also feel like it has to do with what these guys, you know, like teaching the sciences. Like some of you guys are very logical, very scientific, but I feel like most of you, this is more of a balance. Like you take what is in the abstract and you bring it into reality. Like that's what I'm getting. So yeah, my healers, my writers, my dreamers, my artists, some of you, I feel like for you guys, your gift is actually being able to take in and transmute and project out love through the heart portal. Like you receive a lot of your messages through love. Again, I'm getting like a lot of strong water vibes coming through. But I'm also getting possible Gemini and Sagittarius energy as well. You guys might have a combination of all of that, but I'm getting mostly like water, like, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, but I'm also getting some Gemini and some Sag energy as well. Teaching gift is coming through strong too. And I really feel like some of you already do these things. Some of you are already writers and teachers and artists and healers. But if you're not, look into this. Like for you guys, I would say whatever's in your heart to do is what you should be doing. If you need help activating any of these gifts, you know, for you guys, since your gifts are more things that could sort of be learning the external for the most part, except here you already go into your inner world for this. If you want to sort of beef up or really invigorate these parts of yourself, you can always study these things. But I feel like for most of you, because this is all about what's already in the DNA, if you guys just tune into your own DNA, you'll be able to find this within, and you'll find yourself, you know, coming at it from a very unique perspective, because this is something you've done in past lives, and this is something that your ancestors have done as well. So some of you might have Jinn ancestry, I'm getting. Some of you might have angelic ancestry. Some of you might have like Mesopotamian, Persian, or Egyptian and Kemetic ancestry. I don't know why, but this is what's coming through really strong. So I hope that this reading resonated with you guys. If you want a personal reading, hit me up, because this is general. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Also, stay tuned for the end. I'm going to be doing a promotional video for my shamanic seminar and my cacao ceremony. And, that would also be helpful for you guys. So if you're interested in that, check it out, and you can email me or message me through my business inbox. That's all I have for you guys. Pile 2. Have a good day. Shalom. Hi, for those of you who chose pile 3 or the spiral, this is your reading. Okay, pile 3. So here's your layout. I'm going to go ahead and show each of the cards to you before I get into the energies and start channeling. So we have here up first the Sage card. Be devoted and committed, just in case you guys can't see that. And then from the Demon deck, we have Queen of Pentacles. Hagenti or Hagenti, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, makes one wise and teaches everything, can turn metal into gold and transmutes water into wine. On the other side here, we have the World card, or Vapula, makes one skilled in labor and crafts, increases knowledge of philosophy and science. We have here in the center, technology. Okay, here we have fire. So the element of fire energy, some Kundalini energy happening. And adventure, innocence, play, and discovery. Look at this. All right, so let me go ahead and tune in and get into this. So right away, I'm getting for some of you that you might actually have Dravidian or Indian ancestry, okay? You might have past lives. And, for those of you who don't know, I do believe that ancestry and past lives is connected. So if you have ancestry someplace, you have past lives there. And we are ancestors, right? Because they are in our DNA. So I do feel for some of you that you've had past lives, as a devotee. I'm getting Shiva coming through. I don't know why, but I'm also getting some Mithra energy too. So some of you might be, Persian keeps coming through really strong today for some reason. Some of you might have Persian DNA as well, as I'm seeing here, like the peacock god or peacock, but I'm also seeing, Krishna for that as well. Vishnu. I'm not getting a lot of like the goddess energy coming through in this particular card, but I do feel like many of you have been, devotees, practitioners of, the Hindu religion in past lives. Definitely sage energy coming through. So some of you might have like spent lifetimes in hermit mode, where you were like, meditating on the street, when people would come and bring you food, or like living in a cave. I'm getting for a very select few, there might be some Tibetan ancestry too. But I'm getting mostly Indian and Dravidian coming through here. And what this speaks to me about the magic in your DNA is the ability to tune in and really hear from your higher self. And also you may have like the gift of communicating with these particular deities or energy currents in this lifetime. So you might also have the gift of being a devotee to a certain cause, a belief system, spirit, things of that nature. I'm also getting that most of you that chose this pile are very logical and mellow. So I'm getting kind of this logical, disciplined, mellow energy, and that's actually a gift where it's come from lifetimes that you spent on self-mastery, which is also connected to this as well. And I'm also getting because of technology. So coming through really strong. I get that most of you have had incarnations in Atlantis. A lot of you may have Arcturian DNA, Procrean DNA, Pleiades DNA, but I'm getting mostly like Atlantean and Arcturian and Procrean coming through here, like for ancient Earth and star placements. So you might also have a gift of technology, but what's interesting here is I'm also sensing that a lot of you here have an aversion or have issues with technology. And that's because in Atlantis, you did some things that created sort of this cognitive dissonance or distortion or like almost a traumatized relationship with technology. So that's why we have here technological disaster, abuse of technology, things of that nature. But for those of you who have either resolved that or do not have that type of trauma in that, you may be very proficient in technology. You might be a computer programmer. You might be, a game designer. You might, do like digital work or digital marketing. You might, be somebody that's in like, you might create videos or do like tech, something technical, work with your hands. I'm just getting a lot of technical energy coming through here for you guys, and that this is a gift for you. So if you are terrible in technology in this lifetime, what this tells me is that you need to address these issues within your DNA and heal from it, and you might find yourself actually activating more of that within your DNA. Let me tune into these daemon cards real quick, because this all connects too. Because see here with Pula, he's all about philosophy and science. We have here Hagenti or Hagenti, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering this because I don't work these particular daemons, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but also has to do with teaching and making wise. Some of you might have professor energy too. If some of you might be like a professor or a teacher that also deals, like you might be a computer lab teacher, technician, or something along those lines. You might work in forensics. I'm just getting like a lot of technical energy coming through her. And here, this is almost like, this is kind of how I feel you really, this right here, this daemon card, to me, like represents your archetype in a way too. So like, this would be like one aspect of your archetype, the sage archetype. But then you also have like forest, this archetype says teaches logic, ethics, and the value of herbs and stones, can make one invisible, and helps to be intelligent and long-lived and recover lost treasure. So I feel like, yeah, like some of you might be like also maybe, philosophers as well, or you might actually teach logic. But I feel like this has more to do with you just being very intellectual, very technological. Like this is your gift. Very calm, very centered, very balanced. Even here at this Kundalini, this fire is not out of control here. Like this is a very balanced energy. This is the ability to balance the current of creation and destruction. This is self-mastery, pile 3. So this is really good. Now, aside from the earth ancestry of Atlantis and India and Persia coming through, I'm all, and aside from the star ancestry of Arcturus and Procrean and Pleiades coming through, I'm also getting some of you might be of Norse ancestry, because I'm seeing here the bridge here. And I'm also seeing some of you may have Fae ancestry as well, so there's maybe some Celtic ancestry in here. I feel like some of you are good at being able to portal, like either see portals, create portals, close portals, go through portals, go, do different dimensional travel. Because I'm seeing here, like here's a key, like she's holding like a gold key behind her back, and she's sitting here talking to this Fae aspect of herself. So when I'm seeing this, because the card itself is talking about being adventurous and playing and discovering, the energy I'm getting is that even though you guys are very intellectual and you're very like calm most of the time, or if you're unaware of that, that's in you. You just have to really, finish doing shadow work and healing and integrating for that to come out. But I'm getting there's also this playful side of you. And when you let loose the playful side as well, when you're in that balance, right? When you let loose that playful side as well, that's when you can really access these other realms. So it's not all just about like the intellect and logic. It's also you have this ability within you to just effortlessly access these other realms. And I think some of you might have Fae DNA, Norse DNA, maybe even like, Norse like deity ancestry as well. And Celtic, I'm getting. Okay. And some of you may just easily have the keys to walk through different realms. You might be psychopomps, you might be multidimensional travelers, astral projectors, things of that nature. This is definitely coming through really strong. So if you haven't been doing that consciously, practice lucid dreaming, practice astral projection, practice guided meditations and journeying the different realms. Definitely, you guys in this pile would benefit from lots of what I call empty meditation, or like Vipassana meditation, where it's just that empty meditation, and you're just, because Vipassana is the proper term, and you're just literally just sitting there and going within in still silence, not using anything else, just empty meditation. And I feel like some of you would also benefit from, drawing from the ancestors or the past lives where you were a devotee or where you were working on technology. So if all of this isn't activated in you right now, trust me, it's in your DNA. And you work to activate it by going within, okay? By going within and going on an adventure. So I hope that this resonates with you guys as a general reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest. If you want a more personalized reading, definitely hit me up. And definitely check out the promotional video at the end of this, where I talk about the shamanic seminar I have coming up and the cacao ceremony I have coming up that I'm offering. If you guys are interested in it, definitely email me or message me on my business page. So that's all I have for you guys, pile 3. Take care and shalom. Okay, so those of you who chose 4 or the arrow, let's get into your reading. All right, pile 4, this is your spread. So I'm going to read off the cards real quick, and then I will tune into the energies and start channeling. So up first, we have the Knight card, be brave and honest. Just in case you guys can't see this. From the demon deck, we have the 7 of Wands, or Glacia Labialis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Causes murder and bloodshed, tells of things to come, causes a love of friends or enemies, and can make one invisible. And then we have here 9 of Swords, Seer. Travels the world over in an instant and brings anything anywhere. Gives the truth about theft and hidden treasures, willing to do anything one commands. And I actually think it's Sire. By the way, guys, I apologize for just saying Seer. I think it's Sire. Stalis, this last demon card. Page of Cups, teaches astronomy and the values of herbs and precious stones. Okay. We have here is the core card, fertility or infertility, children or loss of children, and we'll get into that as well. You definitely resonate with the element aether, the seamless, unspeakable. Aether or ether, however you want to pronounce it. Both are correct. And then we have here oneness, balance, patience, divine masculine. So there's a few, I almost feel like there's some conflicting energies coming through here. Almost as though some of you are maybe at war with your divine feminine masculine, or at war with parts of your DNA. Like almost like there's a blood feud within your DNA that prevents you from accessing some of your gifts. So before I even tune into the cards, I want to address that. So the best way to handle that is, first of all, you want to get into ancestral worship or ancestral veneration or healing of ancestry, however you want to call it. And I recommend having 2 separate altars. One where you're dealing with the parts of the bloodline that hasn't been super corrupted or traumatized. And then the other part is like, and that would be like your elevated ancestors. And the other parts, like the ancestors that are not elevated, that require healing and elevation. Okay. And it may even just be 2 different ancestries within your DNA that are at war with each other. This is really common when you have ancestors that were conquered by other ancestors, or were forced into like forced religious conversion, slavery, indentured servitude, things of that nature. So I'm getting that coming through for you guys as a block to why you're unable to access some of your gifts in this lifetime. So you can start by doing those altars and then going into the underworld and talking to these ancestors face to face, finding out when these traumas first occurred, and then dealing with it at that level. Now, if you want some guidance on how to do that, you can definitely hit me up. You can book the Underworld Shadow Healing reading with me, or check out my Shadow Healing tier on Patreon. So I just wanted to address that right away before I even get into it, because that was just popping right out at me. Because there is kind of like this masculine feminine struggle and this like DNA feud struggle coming through. Now, I feel like many of you might have been part of the Rosicrucianist or the Knights Templar. I'm getting like that energy. I see the rose here in the background. I'm seeing the Grail. If you guys can see, let me hold this up. So either you or ancestors were involved in this. So you have a little cross on the handle here. Definitely getting that energy coming through strong. Some of you were responsible for religious oppression and genocide, dealing with religion being, you know, kind of, so you may have a complicated relationship with religion as well in your family or in your personal life. Okay. But I don't want to just focus on the shadow aspect of this. I want to go into the strengths of this. So there is this like warrior, assassin intellect. There's this ability to calculate. I feel like you guys would really benefit from reading the book, The Laws of Power, by the way, just as a side note, you know, and maybe dark psychology books as well. It just popped up for some reason. But there's definitely this sort of energy of being able to think ahead, be calculated, be able to really move in the shadows. And that could be literal, and that could also be in the spirit realm as well. And you may even be someone that's kind of a warrior in the spiritual realm or in the astral. Let me tune in some more, because I feel like there's more that wants to come through here before we go on to the other one. You may have people that are in knight's attire that show up to you. These are your ancestors, and these are also past life versions of you as well. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for this one. Definitely holy war energy as well coming through here. Some of you might have been on the Catholic side, some of you might have been on the Muslim side, or you might have even incarnated in both and have ancestry in both from that conquest that happened in that region. So I'm getting that there's also a strong alchemy and sorcerer energy coming through here. Some of you might have even worked with demons in the past or sorcery, but I feel like it was more of like you commanded them. You didn't really work with them like, you know, on an equal playing field. It was more of like a command thing. So you guys might actually have complicated relationships with demons, but others of you might actually have demons that still serve you. I'm getting an interesting thing with the 666 here. So it's 4 6s. I feel like this is a daemon number for you. So when you see this number, it's really big. It's like a sign from the infernal realm or from the demonic realm. And, you know, as you see here with Stalis, you have here teaches astronomy and the values and of herbs and precious stones. So some of you might, again, I'm getting this alchemy energy coming through. Some of you, I feel, were also midwives or doulas in past lives as well. I'm getting witches. I'm getting folk magic. I'm getting, for some of you, you were maybe hoodoo or voodoo practitioners or brujos or brujas. That's coming through for some of you, very select few. Definitely sorcerer and witchcraft energy coming through heavy in this, and also the warrior energy. Now, some of you might either have a lot of children this lifetime or struggle with fertility, or maybe you did struggle with fertility and you overcame it. And this has a lot to do, I mean, also some of you might have been like bastards. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but or offensive, but like you were born outside of marriage, or maybe like one of your parents was actually cheating on the other. Some of you might have gone through abortions or might have gone through miscarriages. But this is all part of like you, this is all about you healing your sexual energy and healing the sexuality of your bloodline. And I feel like a lot of you have helped other people in past lives with their fertility. But there's also this energy that some of you might have actually killed babies, infanticide, because of this right here, the Knights Templar vibe, okay? And so yeah, there needs to be like a lot of shadow work and trauma healing done with this at this level. but it's a gift. So you have the gift of being like, some of you might actually be doulas or midwives or witches or sorcerers or practitioners, like for hire at this level. You guys might be doing that already. Like I'm getting some of you are on the left-hand path and you actually do tarot readings or do, and not all of you are on the left-hand path, but some of you. And some of you actually do like spell work or roots like for a living. I'm getting some of you work with crystals and literal herbs for a living as well. So some of you might have apothecaries as well. Some of you might be fighters. I'm getting some of you might be boxers, or in the past you were boxers or UFC fighters or MMA fighters, or maybe Taekwondo, maybe you studied martial arts as a kid, maybe you studied fencing or archery, or you like guns, you go to the gun range. You might be a police officer. You might be like a firefighter. You might be a security guard. I'm just getting very kind of strong warrior energy coming through here. And so you are a warrior. You believe, like one of your powers is you believe in causes, and one of your powers is faith and belief in yourself or the spirits you work with. And that's really that's like what really drives you and empowers you. And of course, you guys are natural alchemists and sorcerers, whether you're tapped into that or not. Because here with ether, that's the other thing too, is you guys really, ether's really spirits, the element of spirit. So you're very tapped into the spiritual realm. Some of you might work with dragons. Or some of you might have incarnations as dragons. I'm getting Draco energy. Also, some of you might have been incarnated in Draco, or serpents or Hydra. Because all three of those are coming through really strong. Some of you might have Naga DNA lineage as well, but I'm getting more of like Draco, serpents, Hydra, seraphim energy. Let's see here. Lots of men in this pile. And even if you're not a man, like you have like a very masculine soul. Let's see. Yeah. So you guys will be, your path to finding your gifts is really learning to balance yourself, doing shadow work, like working with the underworld and spending time in nature, and really seeing everything as being connected and not separate. So I hope that this helped you guys. I hope it resonated with you. It's a general reading, so definitely take what resonates and leave the rest. If you'd like a book, a personal reading with me, and get a little more of a personal assessment without all of the other general vibes coming through, definitely hit me up. And if you're interested in my shamanic seminar that I'm doing, or my cacao ceremony that's coming up during the Lionsgate portal on August 8th, definitely hit me up. You can email me or message me on my business page. So that's all for you, pile 4. Take care and shalom. All right, those of you who chose pile 5 or the star symbol, let's get into your reading. Okay, this is your spread, pile 5, and I want to say right off the bat that Astaroth is coming through really strong in this reading, whether you guys can feel it or not. And I want to just say before I even get into the reading itself or go over all the cards, because we have here Astaroth. I haven't been starting at the bottom for the other decks, but Astaroth originally started out as a Mesopotamian goddess and later became known as a male daemon. This is also the card of justice, and it says here that Astaroth, whether you look at it as a he or she, tells how the angels fell, okay, reveals the past, the present, and the future, and teaches the liberal sciences or liberal arts. Okay, so if some of you might already be working with Astaroth in the daemon form, or you might be working with Astaroth more in the goddess form, like more in the form of Ishtar or Astarte or Sora. Okay, and or even literally Astaroth. Okay. But if you haven't in this lifetime, he, whichever one you're connected to in your DNA, is coming through really strong. So for some of you, it may be in the goddess form connected to your DNA. You might have been a devotee of her as a goddess. Others of you might have worked with her in the male daemon form. Okay. Some of you might be already working with Astaroth, and that's why this is coming through. But I'm getting like really strong energy here. So I'm getting a lot of either past or present or future devotees of Astaroth. So I just wanted to address that first. So we have here the Water Guardian card. So connect with your emotions. Okay, so I'm going to get into all these more in depth in just a second, guys. So let me just finish going through these cards. We have Three of Cups, Gusion, okay? Reconciles friends, tells of the past, present, and future, and gives dignities and honors. If I butcher any of these names, I apologize. I don't work with all these demons, so some of them I won't know their proper pronunciation. Halfus, Two of Swords, builds towers and provides weapons and ammunition, sends soldiers to appointed places. That is very relevant. I'm going to go back to that. We have here the infinite. And we have here the sacral portal, creativity, intimacy, and inhibition. All right, this is an interesting pile. So is the last one. By the way, if you guys feel drawn to pile 3 or 4, and I haven't said this yet, for whatever reason, I'm being told to tell you guys, check out 3 and 4. I don't think there'll be as many messages that resonate, but some are in there. There's some gems that you're supposed. I'm like seeing an image of you guys, like kind of like during the gold rush, where they would sift out the dirt to get to the gold nuggets. Like that's what I feel like you guys should do, because I feel like both in 3 and 4 have messages. So I'm gonna go ahead and focus on this. So, strong energy. So some of you have siren DNA. And some of you also have Fey DNA dealing with the water, but I'm also getting Siren DNA and a connection to the Lilitu, or like the Lilith, or the succubus type energy. Okay. The sirens, the succubus, the Lilitu, they're all types of storm spirits. In fact, originally, what a lot of people don't know is sirens originally had wings and had the feet of birds. And sometimes they were even depicted as having heads of birds as well with human bodies. So I want to point that out. So here you can see the water in the background, right? But then you see the wings. So I'm getting very strong, like siren energy coming through. Some of you may have an amazing voice. You may have a really strong connection to water or storm element. I'm getting that some of you may have strong connections to water elementals. You might deal with different types of water fae, maybe mermaids or naiads or water spirits in general. You might deal with like Yamaya or Oshun. I'm getting for some people in this pile. Mostly I'm getting siren energy. Some of you may even deal with Lilith, because Lilith's coming through really strong. And then we have Astroth too. So it's kind of similar vibe coming through here. Also, I got Aresh Kagal. I don't know why that just popped up. So some of you have ancestral and past life ties to Lilith, Aresh Kagal, the Lilitu, the Sirens, and Astroth. Okay. I'm getting that a lot of you were generals in past lives as well. I'm getting a general energy, king, queen, princess, prince energy, a lot of leadership coming through, and also fame. I'm getting infamy as well. So some of you may have repressed gifts that are connected to your leadership abilities because of shame. Like I'm getting like there's some shame in your DNA in connection for some of you to these royal. I'm getting some of you it's royal, some of you it's noble, and some of you it's warrior caste type energy. And the things that took place within your ancestry and or your past lives that have to do with that, there's a block there. And so some of you are amazing leaders, and you know this is a gift and you're walking in it proudly. And others of you are really running from this gift, or don't even see this in yourself because of that, trauma, because of that shame. Like you don't want to be out in the forefront, because I remember what happened last time when I had fame and fortune and power. Okay. You either abused it or something happened and you were ashamed. I'm getting for some of you, there's even betrayal involved in this. So a lot of you, for those of you who are ignoring your leadership capabilities or not aware you have it, look into this. Go into your underworld, see what happened in past lives, see what happened in your ancestry. If you need help with this, let me know. You can book a session with me or check out my Patreon where I teach you how to do that yourself. So I'm getting that a lot of you in this incarnation have been working toward ascension or connecting to the divine. And I'm not getting like, it's kind of like you're really trying to activate your own Godhead, For some of you, and others of you are really trying to like merge with source or all. And this is a gift, because I feel like for a lot of you, you can really hear very clear divine messages from like the Great Spirit or the Most High or the All or the Source. Like I'm getting that really strong. For those of you that are dealing with blocks in your creation, it's because you're not doing it through your sacral chakra. Don't inhibit your sexuality, because I'm getting, and this goes back to here, is a lot of you have that siren DNA or that Lilitu or that succubus DNA. You don't have to use that in a way that's baneful. Like you can use that in a way that benefits not only yourself, but those around you. So channel from your sacral chakra. This is a major point of power for you guys. I think a lot of you guys have raw sexual energy. It either comes out in a masculine way where you're just like, you have all this like dynamic charisma, or it comes out in this like really subtle, seductive way for those of you who walk more in the feminine current. But yeah, I'm definitely getting that a lot of your power comes from leadership and being able to take charge, lead groups, be influential, sort of be a star in your own right. You have this ability to really draw attention to yourself. So if you're not doing this, like this is in your DNA, guys. So you just have to get in there and access it. Some of you have oracle energy. I'm seeing a lot of you, for those of you that are oracles or operate oracles, because I'm getting a connection to like working with crystals for scrying and water. Like some of you are maybe oracle card readers, but I feel like most of you, it's like you work, I'm getting like this energy with crystals and water. So like you guys use like crystals and water for your divination. So some of you might scry over still water or look into water as a portal, and others of you might like use like a crystal ball or like a, you know, an obsidian like mirror or something like that to scry. Also for you guys, mirrors are portals and water's portals. So make sure, I don't know, I just got this like extra message, and make sure you guys are locking your mirrors, and that if you do use a mirror as a designated portal, that you keep it covered when you're not using it. Definitely you guys have a knack for battle too, because I feel like this pile, like my last pile was more so the hands-on warriors. Like you guys seems like you have more of like a general energy. Study the art of war and study the laws of power. I'm getting, and I said something similar I think in my last pile. I feel like there's a little more that wants to come through before we're up at this reading. I'm just getting also a lot of you, like your power is in the flame too. I just got. So some of you may feel really connected to water, but I'm getting like a lot of your power also comes from fire. So I'm getting that this is mostly my water and fire sign pile. So you guys may have like prominent water and fire placements. I feel like some of you might have had past lives during Avalon, because I'm seeing like this like whole like King Arthur's sword in the stone thing. I'm not getting that anyone that chose this pile was like Arthur himself per se, but I'm just getting you guys might have been like incarnated during that time. Also, Atlantis is coming through. Mintaka Orion. Sirius. Some of you, a very select few, were in Lemuria, and an even smaller amount of you were in Mu. So that's all I have coming through, guys. Take what resonates with the rest. It's a general reading. If you want a more specific reading that's private and one-on-one, hit me up. If you guys are interested in my shamanic seminar and the cacao ceremony I have coming up, I highly recommend checking it out. I have a promotional ad at the end of this video, and if you're interested, you can email me or you can message me through my business page for more information. So that's all I have for you guys, pile 5. Take care and shalom. Shalom, my lovelies. I wanted to take a minute of your time to talk about some amazing things coming up. So I have the Lionsgate Shamanic Seminar coming up, and this is going to be from Saturday, August 6th to Monday, August 8th. and it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm going to be taking you guys on shamanic journeys, 3 per day. This is going to go into the underworld, deal with inner child healing, ancestral work, inner adolescent healing, other types of shadow work integration, soul fragment retrieval, breaking of generational curses, and hell loops. So this is a very amazing, once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this again, so definitely hit me up if you're interested. Also, the same night of the Lionsgate on August 8th, starting at 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., I'm also going to be doing a cacao heart healing ceremony. So this will also be done live through Zoom, just like the shamanic seminar, but it's going to be more of a ceremony. So you can participate with cacao, or you can just simply be present and participate in the frequency. So definitely reach out to me if you guys are interested in either, and I will send you more information. I'm also going to drop down details in the drop down menu below. I hope to see you there.